everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're here to stay ahead in the Forex game, you're in the right place. Today's update is for October 17, 2024, and we're diving into what happened in the markets and what you need to keep your eye on for tomorrow, October 18, 2024. Whether you're trading the majors, or looking into more niche pairs, I've got you covered with the latest trends, key levels, and what to expect next. Let's jump right in. Today's session saw some pretty significant moves across the board, with a lot of volatility driving action in both directions. The big story was around the USD after the latest economic reports dropped early in the morning. Euro to US dollar started the day on the back foot, struggling to hold above the 1.0600 level after disappointing industrial production numbers from the Eurozone. By midday, the pair fell to 1.0565, continuing the downward trend we've seen recently. Pound sterling to US dollar also faced some pressure. UK inflation numbers came in higher than expected, pushing the pound up initially, but as we moved into the New York session, the pair gave up those gains and slid down to 1.2150. Over in Asia, US dollar to Japanese yen remained volatile, bouncing between 149.50 and 150.00, largely driven by speculation about upcoming intervention by the Bank of Japan. Traders are on edge as the BOJ continues to hint at possible action, but no clear decision has been made yet. On the commodity currencies side, Australian dollar to US dollar was surprisingly resilient, closing just above the 0.6300 mark despite China's latest trade data missing expectations. The Canadian dollar, CAD, also held steady, with US dollar to Canadian dollar hovering around 1.3700 as oil prices continued to support the loonie. Alright, now let's talk about tomorrow. We've got a few key factors that could move the markets. US jobless claims, this is a critical one. If the number comes in lower than expected, it could give the dollar more strength, especially against the euro and pound. On the flip side, if the claims are higher, it might be a signal that the US labor market is cooling, which could weaken the dollar. UK retail sales, this report has the potential to shake up the pound. If we get a surprise on the upside, it might help the GBP recover some of today's losses, pushing it back towards 1.2200. If the data disappoints, expect more downside pressure. Japan CPI, this is a huge one for the yen. Inflation in Japan has been a bit of a wild card, and if it ticks higher, the Bank of Japan might be forced to make a more definitive move. Traders should keep an eye on this release overnight, as it could lead to another surge in volatility for US dollar to Japanese yen. China's economic data, any updates out of China will impact commodity currencies like the Aussie and Kiwi. If there are signs of slowing, the pressure on the Australian dollar could intensify. Now, here are the key levels you should have on your radar going into tomorrow. Euro to US dollar, support at 1.0540, resistance at 1.0615. Pound sterling to US dollar, support at 1.2100, resistance at 1.2220. US dollar to Japanese yen, support at 149.00, resistance at 150.20. Australian dollar to US dollar, support at 0.6280, resistance at 0.6340. Keep a close eye on how these levels hold or break, as they'll give us clues about market sentiment and potential trade setups. Given the current market conditions, here's how I'm approaching things. For the euro to US dollar, I'm looking to fade any rally into the 1.0600 zone, targeting the lower end of today's range. However, if it breaks below 1.0540, I'll look for opportunities to ride the trend lower. In pound sterling to US dollar, I'll be keeping an eye on the UK retail sales report. A strong print could give us a short-term bullish setup, but I'm cautious given the overall bearish trend. For US dollar to Japanese yen, I'm sitting on the sidelines for now. The risk of intervention is just too high, but if we get a clear breakout above 150.00, I may jump in for a quick trade. In the Australian dollar to US dollar, if it drops below 0.6280, I'm thinking of going short, especially if there's any negative data out of China overnight. That's it for today's update. Let me know in the comments how you're planning to trade tomorrow, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay on top of all the latest Forex news and analysis. Remember, staying informed is the best edge you can have in these markets. Until next time, trade smart and stay disciplined.